Hey, this is Corey Knight with another iPad tips and tricks video. In this video, we're going to check out some Safari features. We're going to look at notes. I'm going to explain the general split screen and the general multitasking, and obviously the files, the new folder that is the Files app. This really is some cool features that are available with the new iOS 11 update, and I'm excited to share these with you. Now, during this video, you're going to see a few different things that you may already know how to do, so just bear with me as we go through some of those basics before we dive into the newer features. Okay, so let's first start with Safari. That is your web browser, and I'm going to go ahead and open up Safari, and let's just start with a Google website. I just love how Google always changes their logo every single day with some sort of theme. Yesterday was the first day of fall, and they had a great theme for that, so that's a little side note, but that's really cool. I like that Google does that. It just keeps it different so that when we're searching things, we notice this. It's pretty cool. So you guys can already notice that the main Safari page is pretty much the same. They're not going to change it very much, but there are some features that are different. Let's say that I am looking for something with solar power. So I'm looking up solar energy for my classes, and I'm going to go ahead and find a website. And I've already tested this, so that's why it's highlighted purple. And the National Geographic website is really awesome. So you can see right here that I have all of these different advertisements that are on there, and maybe I want to get rid of them. So one thing that you can do is if you come up here right next to the address bar and click these 4 lines, it will convert it into a clutterless document that just goes over the information. Only the content is featured. Wow, what an amazing tool that you can use so that you can make it just a little bit easier for your students so they're not distracted by all those advertisements. Another thing that you can do here is you can change the text and the text color after you've hit those lines. Another cool feature. So if you just don't like the way that the text looks in a certain part, you can change that. Pretty cool. I can change the size. I can change the color, whatever you want. You can make it fully customizable. Now, one thing that I also like to do, and I like to share out with my students, is that if you ever like a web page a lot, just hit the share button right here. You can either add it to a reading list, add it to a bookmark, add it to favorites, but what I like to do frequently is add it to a home screen. So this is where you can make it almost look like an app, and what you would do is you would just title it whatever you want here. You can change it to whatever you want. Maybe I want to make that say National Geographic Solar Power, so I can remember it. I then click Add, and you will notice right here, I'm dragging this in the middle so you can see this, it has created that page for me, almost in a way that it has saved it. Now notice that it didn't keep it into the reader, but it also did just automatically pull that up. Really cool feature. That's been around for quite some time with iOS. I think that came out with like iOS 8, but sometimes we don't know about these simple features that can really help and benefit our classroom. Okay, so say that I want to go to this reader right here. What this does is this is just a history over here on the left-hand side. You can see that yesterday in class, we were involved with playing Kahoot a lot, which is an awesome game. So you can see that my history right there. This is a reading list, so if I want to add this to a reading list so for me to look at it later, you can see right here I hit that share button. If I add this to a reading list, it adds it right there. If I add this to a bookmark, I'm going to click Save to a bookmark. You can now see this over here at the bottom right here. It has saved that bookmark for me. So if ever you're cruising the web and you're trolling around, maybe you see something that you like, you just save it to a bookmark or save it to a reading list, and you automatically have it saved because there's so many links out there that we don't really remember what they are, but we want to save them because they're really good content out there that we want to use in the classroom. All right, so that is some quick basics on Safari. Now I want to share this thing that I really, really like. So I'm going to go ahead and close this bookmarks, and I'm back to my solar energy website. So I'm going to go ahead and click the reader again because I think this is going to really, really wow you guys because there's so many ways that we can use this. And say that I want to share this with my students, and I want to share it in a PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that share button again. Now I can do all kinds of different things. I can either maybe email this document to another friend, another colleague, something like that. I can save this PDF to iBooks if I want to save it there, which is perfectly okay. But what I really like, I can also create a PDF. So what it does is it created a PDF. Now you'll notice when I hit the Create PDF button, I've got two features in the upper right hand corner. One, I've got a share button. I can then mail this to myself so I have that on my desktop or wherever it is. Awesome. I can save it to Google Drive. I have a Google Drive video that you're more than welcome to check out. It's going to be very helpful in what you need to do to add this stuff to Google Drive. But one of the really cool features is that if I were to share this out with my students through a learning management system like Canvas or Google Classroom, or I know some people use Edmodo, then my students can open this up and they can hit the pen feature, and now they can write on this, they can highlight, they can change the color of this stuff, whatever they want. So if you want them to start highlighting and annotating the text, how awesome is that? So simple. They can erase whatever they need to erase. So you have all kinds of different features available for your students. If I hit this plus button here, I can add a signature. If it's a document that I need to sign, I can just write my signature in there real quick. That's what all of our signatures look like. And you can see that it has added my signature right there. Pretty cool. So if I need to add shapes, circles, arrows, all that stuff, I can annotate the text directly from this PDF that I created from Safari. What a cool feature. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Done button. But first, before I do that, I want to save this to Files, that new Files app that is available. So I'm going to save it there. And I'm going to go ahead and click iCloud Drive, and we'll explain that. If you want to put it on your iPad, you can do that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and click it to the iCloud Drive. I'm going to add it there. And now this is now saved. Pretty cool. And I'm going to hit the Done. It's going to give me the opportunity to save file to again. You can see right there, it's going to ask me and prompt me to do that again. We already did that. You can see right there, it's trying to replace both of them. We're going to go ahead and just click Delete PDF because it's already there. We already saved it. Back to the website, I'm going to go ahead and click that share button one more time. One thing I do want to share with you is that sometimes we want to see what the desktop version of a site is, and with the new iOS 11 update, they have created this for us. So sometimes a desktop site just looks a little bit better, or sometimes the mobile website just isn't right, things aren't aligned. So you can just click this Request Desktop Site. Sometimes it doesn't change much, sometimes it does. You can see right here that it is going through and it's loading it. There's not much of a change, but I did notice a few different features on some websites. If you want to see what the desktop version looks like, you can click that button and it'll request it. Notice that it's taking a little bit longer to load, hence the reason why the desktop version may not be what you're looking for. Alright, so that is Safari in a nutshell. Those features are really awesome. I think that it's going to be able to change the way that you do things in your classroom. Next, we're going to take a look at the notes, the files folder, and just the general split screen.